What is up, guys? Welcome to the channel if you're new here, and as always, if you're returning, thank you for your continued support. And we're going to do what we always do. We're going to jump right into it. And today we've got yet another suppressor video for you guys. This one is going to be on the Griffin Armament. It's kind of a mouthful. I believe the full name of it is the HUB HRT 556 AM or something like that. So basically what this can is, Griffin is kind of getting with the times, and I love to see it. A company that have been around for quite a while, and they've traditionally made traditional baffle stack cans. So they are getting with the times now, and they are making 3D printed cans, or additively manufactured. That is what the AM at the end of all of that BS means. So this guy is, I think, just an adaptation of one of their previous cans. I believe they've made an HRT for a while. So this is just a newer, updated 3D printed version. Unlike a lot of other suppressors you guys have seen and any other suppressors you've seen on this channel, this suppressor is made out of a new alloy. It is called Nickel 625X. I can't tell you a whole lot about it. Unfortunately, it's a new thing. I think it's Griffin's proprietary stuff, their own blend of sauces and stuff, kind of like KFC. But supposedly, according to them, at 1200 degrees, this is stronger or has more tensile strength than room temperature Inconel. I can't say for sure how that's going to hold up over time. I don't know how the whole tensile strength thing is really going to transfer to taking the brunt of a bunch of blast from a muzzle, but we'll find out. Another thing I do want to point out in speaking about the construction, I don't know if you guys can see the difference here. This back here looks nice, machined, smooth and everything, and then up here it looks a little bit rougher. Typical in a 3D printed can, but what they're doing is this rear portion, or the blast chamber, is machined, and they're welding on the 3D printed portion. And it kind of, I get it. There's some other companies that do that, but right here where it's welded, they do make a K version. Believe it or not, this is not the K version. They do make a K version, and it pretty much just doesn't have that blast baffle on it. It's very, very short. And in speaking on that, this can, I believe, is right around 5.5 inches long, pretty small. And I don't know if you guys can tell here, it is fairly skinny. I want to say it is about 1.625, so it's a little bit thicker than some of the traditional cans that you'll find that are, 1.5, but it's not quite as fat as some of the other cans we've been seeing on the channel, like the Carson, the Spyro, and especially not the Tisha, not the Havoc. So this thing, volume-wise, is one of the smallest newer cans that I have. So just like a lot of the newer suppressors I've been testing on here, this one is supposed to be very low back pressure. To be 100% honest with you guys, I've already popped a few rounds through this thing, and it does sound really good. One thing I've already noticed is, we've got these little vents here, and it's kind of tough to see in the camera, but with a flashlight or something, I can kind of see. It's almost like you can see from the outside to the inside of the can. And then of course we've got these vents along the front and stuff that's letting the gas flow through and such. But I'm not sure if you guys have heard of the ambient suppressors that kind of pull air in from the outside and run it through the can, help it keep it cool. I'm not sure if there's some black magic like that going on with this can, or if it's just the nature of the 625X super alloy that they're using for this, but it is running significantly cooler than even an Inconel can. But enough blabbing and stuff. Let's get to shooting. Let's put this, we're gonna start Mark 18 and do our normal thing on here. We'll see how it stacks up against some of my other cans. All right, same old spiel. We're here right up close to the berm. That way we don't get a supersonic crack. We'll see what this thing sounds like and check ejection pattern. But one thing I just want to touch on, that thing looks really good. I love this pattern here. It kind of reminds me of their M4SD cans, their traditional cans, which I believe they're making a 3D printed of that one now. But it kind of reminds me of the old CAC corn cob cans that, if you're into the GWAT stuff that you used to see. But anyway, enough blabbing, more shooting. All right, so ejection pattern. We know with this gun that we see usually about 330 with no can on there. I'm still seeing about 330. The back pressure seems to be on par with the Spyro. Also through the Ear Pro, seems to sound pretty good. Through Ear Pro, it seems to have a deep tone. So let's move an ear off and we'll see. It sounds pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. This thing, no ringing, just like some of the other cans that are, like I mentioned before, are not only longer, but fatter. So this thing is putting in some serious work for its size. All right, directional mic. Okay, before we grab the Spyro and throw it on here for a comparison, get you a look at the rounds. I do have a little bit of carbon, but really not that bad. And as I've pointed out in some of the other videos of being able to hear rounds strike down range, I could kind of hear rounds strike down range from the Mark 18, which is, again, quite impressive. Okay, so I'm gonna do my typical thing. I've shot my Havoc video the same day that we're shooting this. It's just a little bit warmer now, so I don't have the hoodie on. But I'm gonna roll some of the footage shooting the Spyro on the Mark 18, and then we'll run some of that footage Spyro on this gun, and we'll see how they compare. I'm just trying to save myself a little time, save myself a little space on my phone and my camera there, as well as ammunition, because as we know, none of that stuff's cheap. Okay, HRT on the 11.5 Colt. Okay, so just like we saw with the Havoc, my first round was kind of back here, a normal ejection pattern, and then it kind of went up here, but it didn't throw the cases all that far. So I don't know, I'm getting really weird results with low back pressure cans on this gun. But enough yapping about that. I'll move an ear back here and kind of see how she sounds. Same thing, sounds pretty good. So we'll throw the directional mic on there and do our normal thing. So, yet again, show you guys the rounds here. I have less carbon on these rounds by quite a bit, actually, than I did with the Mark 18. So, I don't know, it's kind of weird that I have less carbon on here and my ejection changed like it did. But, enough of that. I, again, could hear rounds definitely striking my backstop with this thing at 100 yards. So, it is performing extremely well so far, again, especially for its size. So what we're going to do is we're going to move up to the Dissipator again. We're going to compare it to the Havoc this time instead of the Spyro, because I feel like the Havoc did a little bit better on the 16-inch barrel than the Spyro, so I want to give this thing a really good run for its money. Right, Dissipator HRT up here at the berm. So again, changed ejection a little bit, not bad. Let's see what it sounds like bare ear. Not too bad. I mean, honestly, I think it sounds really good. We'll do our normal stuff and then we'll see what it sounds like compared to the Havoc. Okay, so I kind of feel like the Griffin HRT actually kind of edged out the Havoc on 16-inch. So this thing is kind of really going past my expectations. So I really want to see, I've got two shorties here, Spyro on the 11.5. I got the HRT on the 10.3. I'm going to shoot them side by side, back to back basically, and see which one sounds best. All right, here we go. So side by side, I would say the Spyro is better. Granted, it is on a little bit longer barrel. I'm not sure if that is the case that's making it pull ahead. It has a little bit deeper tone, but the HRT, again, doing really, really well considering the size difference. The Spyro's just got more volume on it. But again, this thing is doing exceptionally well. All right, as usual, gonna try and keep these a little bit shorter than I have in the past, especially the Voryx video. But Griffin Armament HUB HRT 556 AM, all that stuff. I'm just gonna call it the HRT. Really, honestly, exceeding my expectations. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I had shot it before, but it was only on 16-inch, and it was doing really well. But I didn't expect it to do quite so good on short barrels. Again, price point, cheaper than most of the things that I've had on here. I just checked their website, and their price right now is about 830 boners. So definitely one of the most affordable cans I've had on here, aside from maybe the Carson, which map price on the Carson is $750. So this thing is shorter than the Carson. It's skinnier than the Carson. In fact, it's shorter than the Spyro, skinnier than Spyro. It's just all around smaller than most of the cans we've had on here, and it's still going toe to toe with all of them. And I know I kind of keep harping on that, but this thing just looks great. I just love the look of this can. Sometimes people try to do some crazy designs on the outside of the can, and I get it, but sometimes it's not really my thing. But I really, really dig this one. Again, it reminds me of the classic G-Watt CAC corn cobs, and I think it looks really good on here. And yeah, I really like this thing so far. I would like to point out, currently I have the Diligent Defense Zilch mount on there, so that actually recesses the can back a little bit. It's the only spare, somewhat spare Plan B hub I had laying around. So if I were to get a hold of a JMac flush fit Plan B, I believe this thing would seat all the way on my 14.5. And as I've discussed before, being 14.5, it's got a little bit longer muzzle device, so it contacts that first baffle. But even with this setup, it almost seats all the way. So that's another big plus. If you're somebody like me that has some 14.5s with some longer muzzle devices, this can most likely is going to be compatible. And not sure if I mentioned it at the beginning of the video, but with this Zilch mount in here, this thing is coming in at around 14, 15 ounces. So it is also, again, and not surprising because it's smaller, but it is lighter than most of the cans we've had on here aside from the titanium cans. So again, this thing, for its size and for its price point, it is really, really good. And most likely by now, I will probably have my Tisha video up. And I don't know, I mean, it's done really well against the Spyro and the Havoc. So I feel like maybe in a future video, I don't know, we might do like a little showdown on all of them or something like that. And I really want to see how this thing does against the Tisha, because the Tisha is extremely tough to beat. That thing is an insane suppressor, but it's also quite a bit more expensive than some of the other ones we've had on here. So there's that. But I will try and wrap this up right there. And as usual, if you guys have any questions, comments, blah, 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 you know where to go, comment section. And if you guys have stuck around this long, I appreciate it. And I hope you guys like what you saw. Consider liking, sharing, subscribing, all that good BS helps me out. And I appreciate it. And hope to see you guys in the next video. And remember, it doesn't matter how fast you miss.